Chapter 3: The Suite and the Strangers. Virgil stepped into room 1122, his senses immediately overwhelmed by the grandeur. The chandelier above sparkled like a constellation, casting intricate patterns of light across the room. A grand piano, polished to a high shine, stood in the corner, and through the vast windows, the garden below was on full display. 7 circles within circles, pathways lined with solemn stone statues. Virgil's gaze lingered on the scene, captivated. In the garden, he saw the gardener again. The old man paused, smiled, and waved. For an instant, Virgil thought he saw a flash of lightning in the gardener's eyes. He blinked and shook his head. "Those eyes again," he muttered, nodding back before pulling the curtain. But he couldn't resist one last look. The gardener's frail body, dressed in denim overalls and a dark shirt, moved with a timeless wariness. The sun set behind him, bathing the garden in a warm, golden glow. Virgil felt the weight of exhaustion. He laid down, letting his body sink into the plush bed. As he stared at the ceiling, memories surfaced. Watching sunsets with his daughter at a Spanish cafe, the air filled with the scent of lemon poppy bread, the same smell that now filled this hotel. Lucy loved that bread, always eager for their Friday evenings together. "My little Lucy," he whispered, a pang of longing tightening his chest. "My little Lucy." Thump, thump, thump. Virgil jolted awake. 3 knocks on the door, followed by voices speaking in a language he couldn't place. He opened the door to find 2 people, a man and a woman, standing there. They were short, oddly shaped like penguins, and wore matching smiles of surprise. They looked so alike they could be mistaken for siblings, though their shared mannerisms hinted at long years spent together. "Oh, hi there! I didn't realize she had company," the woman said, glancing at the man, who stood back with a grin, hands in his pockets. "Mr. Frank, would you look at this? She's got a big one." The woman laughed. Mr. Frank leaned back, laughing as well. "If I didn't know any better, I'd say she has her hands full, Mrs. Frank." Virgil, still confused, said, "Wait, you must have the wrong room." "Well, I guess we do, sir. My name is Frank, and this is Diane, but she goes by Mrs. Frank. We come by to talk to Mrs. Beatrice before dinner. That's all," Frank explained. "Oh, okay. Well, my name is Virgil. Good to meet you both. And what time is dinner tonight?" Virgil asked. Mrs. Frank muttered under her breath, "I'd say dinner has already ended and we're looking at dessert." Mr. Frank laughed. "Don't worry about Mrs. Frank, Virgil, my boy. She's just having fun teasing you. We've been coming here so many years I can't remember, and we've only seen one other person in the Paradise Suite, and that's Mrs. Beatrice," they both answered. "You must have made a big impression." Mrs. Frank slowly uttered. "You don't say," Virgil said, rubbing his head. "Well, Virgil, my boy, it was nice meeting you." "Don't do anything I wouldn't do," Mrs. Frank said, waddling away with her husband, whispering in that strange tongue. Virgil closed the door and smiled, feeling a new sensation creeping over him. He had one thing on his mind: to get cleaned up and ready for dinner. The sweet smell enveloped him again as the shower's warm water poured over him, washing away the dust and the memories of the road. As he dressed and caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, he remembered how he used to feel before all of this happened. He had made Lucy a promise. The thought gnawed at him, a constant reminder of his shortcomings. Determined to shake off the gloom, he headed out the door, ready to face whatever this strange hotel had in store for him next.